And Jamie and I are delighted to be joined by his team boss, Andrea Stella. Now, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What a fantastic day. I mean, it was bittersweet for you and the team, given what happened to Oscar. But let's focus on Lando first. We looked on it all weekend.
Yeah, let's start from the sweet side. Great to see the car being competitive for a pole position, being competitive for a victory. Good to see, great to see that hard work has been rewarded. Thank you very much to all the men and women at McLaren for having been so committed in the design and delivery of the upgrades. Lando was in condition to squeeze every single millisecond off the car, which was good enough yesterday for the pole position, which I think it was 12 milliseconds or something. But today, if anything, the pace was even more encouraging. As soon as Lando was in the lead, I think he proved that he had a decent margin. So great news there, but obviously quite a lot of work to do on reliability.
When you say encouraging, do you mean surprising?
When we look at the numbers and the anticipated numbers associated with the upgrades, we thought that we needed to bring more performance to be in this condition. So in this sense, if you want, yes, a bit of a surprise. It's always good to have positive surprise, but this is a world of numbers, of facts. We remain with the feet on the ground. We know that there's more work ahead of us from performance, but like I say, also from a reliability point of view.
Two papaya-coloured cars leading the way, something we were obviously very familiar with last year. Was there much of a headache or a strategy decision, obviously, on the pit wall, Lando pushing you into try to make that stop early?
Well, I think today was actually great racing. It was great to see Lando and Oscar fighting at the start for the position, something fair, something that's what our drivers to do. And then Oscar had his own chance to take the lead and see what pace he might have had. And how the race unfolded meant that with Oscar we went and covered Hamilton, and then there was some situation with the back markers. Lando was very quick once he had the lead, and he take advantage of this pace and the fact that there was some delay for Oscar. That's racing. We are McLaren Racing, and today was great racing.
Well, Oscar, obviously a very disappointing way for today to end, especially after how well you started. Gearbox issue, and do the team suspect it might have been related to going over a curb potentially?
I don't know. When it broke, I was just taking my normal line, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. In terms of the start, how pleased were you with that and the moves you were able to make?
Yeah, that was definitely the highlight of my race, and it went pretty downhill from there. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of things to unpack. I think firstly, you know, the pace on the hard tyres just was nowhere, and then, yeah, obviously getting taken out by a back marker is never really one of the things you think can go wrong, but I was proven wrong. And then obviously the gearbox, so not the easiest of days.
Just on that second stop, and you came on the radio and said, you guys factoring that in, were you disappointed to be pitted into that traffic, or was it the timing of the stop in particular you weren't happy with?
No, I mean, crashed into by Carlos, and you know, in the moment I was hoping maybe they would not pit Lando because of that incident, to at least give me the chance to stay in the lead, but I think that's not very reasonable. So, you know, I was more just very upset in the moment about what had happened. I think the timing of my pit stop was fine. We wanted to beat Lewis, and that's what we needed to do that.
Thank you.
Well, Andrea was right. He's been able to manage it and process it pretty quickly, which is fantastic. Can I just pick up on the back markers? Why do you think they are a significant issue here at a track like this with these new regulations?
It's tricky. I mean, firstly, it sounds like there might have been an issue with the panels later on in the race. That's when we saw it actually a bigger issue than the situation with Carlos. With Carlos, I think he was just unsighted. And one of the things we're seeing this year, obviously this track is more condensed. There's less long straights. So if you are getting blue flags and you're racing, to get out the way, you're going to lose quite a lot of lap time. And that's why I feel like some of the drivers are trying to manage it so they don't have to sort of get out the way in a sequence of corners where they're going to lose a second or two. Equally, you add on the fact that if you compare to last year, the field spread is much, much greater. The closing speeds are much greater. So running, can get caught out because they're being caught so quickly. So I think that's something everyone's getting used to, that even the drivers in the slower cars, it's something they're having to manage and get used to, and also something obviously the faster drivers are getting used to.
I do feel for Oscar, because it feels as if he really could and should have won that race. He had the opportunity to. I know Lando's been looking good all weekend, but his season's really needed a strong result today, didn't it?
I feel for him. I mean, one of Oscar's greatest strengths is how win on pace, and however the strategy fell, I think he would have found a way to get ahead of him, and you saw him drive away at the end, and that was on Lando.
Okay, a tough day also for Lewis Hamilton. We'll be hearing from him after the break.
Well, Lewis, it's frustrating for your fans. It must be frustrating for you, the way these penalties sort of keep mounting up. How do you reflect on today, and is there any regret that you took the pit stop, that final one?
Yeah, I definitely don't think we should have taken the stop, but the call came literally just before the pit lane entry, and I didn't have time to debate. And you've got to trust that there's a decision that's been taken. But in hindsight, my tyres were totally fine. I was probably going to lose out to Max, but I think I could have kept third at least. And then just open up the door to obviously the penalty that I got at the end.
The bigger picture, though, is you're second in the standings. You've got another 12, 13 races to go, and the car looks like it's steadily improving. So you must be optimistic for the second half of the year.
I definitely am. I'm massively grateful to the team because they've really done a great job in this first half. I think the last three races for me have not been great. Lots of mistakes. One mistake in Silverstone that cost dearly, and then obviously in the last race as well. So and then this weekend. So a lot of penalties in the last three races. So I've got to work hard to not give them the opportunity to give me any more penalties moving forward.
Thank you.
Well, we're just hearing that he exceeded the speed limit in the pit lane by just 0.1 of a kilometre of an hour. He's got to feel aggrieved, hasn't he? It's tough.
Anything over, it's like being a quarter of a kilo underweight. It's like you're going to be aggrieved, but the rules are the rules in that respect. But where my alarm bells are going off, we had this in Monaco, where there was a lot of drivers there were getting this 0.1, and then of course we had all the shenanigans after the race. So I mean, they set the pit limiters through the weekend. They aim at 59 and a bit. If it's a 60k or 79 and a bit, they really fine-tune it. We see a few penalties on a Friday of a few €100 for them for going over the pit lane speed limit, but it's perceived as a competitive advantage. And when you see how close those lines are, with Antonelli, for example, if somebody just goes, so if 0.1's all right, 0.3's all right, because it's not much more than 0.1, and
Very true.
and suddenly you get ahead, and so there has to be a cut-off point, whether it's the width of the car, the weight of the car, the speed of the car in the pit lane, and it's painful and it's harsh, but it's the rules. As long as he was actually doing that speed, which they weren't in Monaco.
So in the business of winning world championships, is it sometimes when the races you can't win or don't win, the important ones to finish on the podium?
Yeah, definitely. I think it wasn't running really well for us from Friday onwards, and then yesterday with the damage on George's car, the penalty that Kimi got, a P3 and a P6 is a good recovery. Nevertheless, it's not where we should be. Yet again, we did a mistake on screwing George. Marshalling system not functioning, and cars in the back defending on Lewis and Kimi fight is just disgraceful from some of the Teletubbies engineers that sit on the pit walls of these teams, not telling the drivers what's happening behind. And so overall a day, I'm gap in the driver championship over the summer, good gap in the constructor championship, and that is a credit to a fast car, to a great team, at times unlucky, like with the VSCs today again, but also not good enough in reliability.
Yeah, I mean, was it just, what was it with George? And is he still in the championship fight? Long way to go?
Long way to go, absolutely. Long way to go, but we need to find out what it was. There was too much input from the throttle that he didn't give, and Boeing is not good. And yeah, we need to get on top of these things.
Okay, Toto, thanks very much. See you later.
Well, George, obviously a terrible start. Did you maximise what you could do after that today in terms of recovery?
Yeah, terrible start is one way to put it. Nothing I could do, unfortunately. Something happened, and yeah, I do take some satisfaction that the pace was strong. The team said it was as good as anyone out there, and yeah, silver lining, I guess, but one thing after another.
Yeah, I mean, this is the wider point. How can you fight for a title when, what was it, the car just went into anti-stall on the grid?
I was on the throttle waiting, and then all of a sudden the engine just sort of went into, was going all over the place. It was revving really high, really low, and yeah, right now we don't know, but it's added to the list of things that's happened this first half of the year. Pray things calm down in the second half. I'm saying positive because I've gone through being so disappointed with everything that's happened this first half of the year. At one point, you need to pick yourself up and accept there's a lot of things out of your control that may work against you. There's things in my control I need to do better, and I'll continue to work on that. But of course, I'm not happy with how things have gone, but I'm going to just keep on stay positive and keep on pushing. Thank you.
Congratulations, that first win of the season. It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
Yeah, no, it's not a win, but it's a super solid race. I guess two very good news. One, the underlying pace of the car was much stronger in the race than what we have shown in this weekend. And second, once again, so strongly executed by the team and by Max, you know, and Isaac. So we had a very solid race in Spa last week. We have another very solid race here after having suffered quite a bit in the weekend. So a big well done to everyone back in Milton Keynes, chassis side, PU side. The package confirmed that we are there fighting for the podium in the last three races. Not quite for the win, but everybody is fighting very hard to get that last bit.
Okay, great stuff. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations, Max. I mean, it was great to watch you out there. I know it wasn't easy either, but did you enjoy some of the moves, some of the things you were able to do? The pass on Lewis in particular had a lot of people excited around this circuit.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a very tough race. Like, I'm still struggling with the same things as in qualifying, where the car is really oversteery in at times and in different phases. So for most of the race, just trying to battle that. But I think we made a lot of good moves. So in the start, you know, to move forward, that made my first stint, of course, a little bit easier. Then the move on Lewis, of course, put me again in a decent spot. And then I guess the call at the end with the soft, it was a long stint, but luckily, yeah, it worked out for us.
Yeah, you used that term, car degradation, as though somehow the car is changing in its, physicality. You talked about the dampers as well, not functioning as well as maybe at the start. Is this a new thing, or is this what you've been dealing with for a while now?
No, a lot of known things, of course, that we already discussed a lot within the team. So we know where we have to look, we know what we have to do. It's just trying to find some of the fixes for it.
Thank you.
Well, he must be encouraged by back-to-back podiums. He hasn't quite afforded himself a smile just yet. But
No, he's angry with the car, though, isn't he? Pushing him along when he doesn't want to be, and I think it seems like it surprises him in corners too, which is not something you need. But yeah, I'm intrigued actually with Max at the moment. I mean, he's driving beautifully, of course. He carries the speed, and he'll pick a car up and run with it, and not many people can do that. Can drive around problems. Very few, in fact, that I've known in my lifetime that can really manage an unstable car like that and carry it and still get it on the podium. So Max is doing a Max, but he's clearly wanting to keep a lot of pressure on the team at the same time.
you will have noticed that Jamie Chadwick has just transformed into Anthony Davidson. Ant, what do you make of Max's weekend as a whole?
I think it was really good. I mean, I expected a lot from Red Bull here, actually, because it's less of a power unit dependent circuit. And we'd already seen flashes of their car being pretty good in slow speed corners. You know, you only have to look at Monaco where Max managed to put it on the front row there. So I expected maybe even more from them. But with their balance issues that Max was having to fight with and Isaac as well, I think Red Bull can't be disappointed with a second and a sixth today. I think that was a really good going for them. But Max is probably mostly disappointed by watching McLaren just streak away into the distance, and it would have been even worse, I fear, for him if it was Lando, if it was inverted. He would have seen Lando disappear. And he's probably thinking, maybe, well, I want to be in that position, not third or fourth or fifth. I'm a winner. And, well, there's talks of them talking to McLaren. And maybe that didn't help today with Team Verstappen looking elsewhere.
Well, Arvid, it's another points finish, another strong qualifying. I mean, by your own high standards, how do you assess today?
A good day for the team, but personally not the happiest.
Why?
It's just a little bit annoying. I've been ahead of my teammate now for quite a few times on the start, and then he's done a better lap one than me. So obviously it's something for me to look into to understand why. But obviously it's a little bit annoying after, we're doing a really good day yesterday and then not nailing lap one today and then being stuck behind.
Yeah, but overall 10 races in, it's a fine start to you at this level.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the first half of the year. Like I said, not super happy with today right now, but I'm sure, over the next couple of days when I sort of have a bit of a think over, the past few weekends, the first half of the year, for sure I'll be happy. And I think talking about the team, they've done a fantastic job. It's a really good day again for the team. Double points, P5 in the championship, really good pit stops again. So I think for sure there's things I could have done better, and I'm not super happy with myself. But I think big picture, it's been a good first half of the year, and also really good job from the team the first half of this year to be going into the summer break ahead of the midfield from where we started.
Very well done. Well, Lando, really well done today. Is it extra satisfying because you had to deal with a little bit of first lap adversity? Didn't have pit stop priority. You really had to show superior pace out there and did.
Yeah, certainly my lap 1, turn 2 was not my finest. Was just overly a bit aggressive. Apart from that, the pace was pretty incredible from me in the car. I felt very, very good out there with managing the tyres and extracting lap time and pushing Oscar, to make mistakes, to use the tyres a lot. And I felt very good that I could still win the race even after what happened on lap 1. By forcing him to either box early or to go long, whatever it was, I knew I could win the race today even after lap 1. So very happy that I did. Of course, a little bit of luck on my side, or there was misfortune on his side, which is a shame because it would have been great for us to have double points as a team and probably a 1-2. And that would have been a beautiful thing for us to have a 1-2 last year and a 1-2 this year. But I was still very happy with just how I drove my race. The pace, the management. Was probably one of my best races in terms of personal performance, and that always makes me feel good.
Kimi Antonelli has a big points advantage. Can you put the pressure on him on the second half of the season? He's a young guy. I mean, does this make you believe you can take it to the later rounds maybe?
How many points behind am I?
98, I think it is.
98?
90 odd. But look, Max was similar.
He should feel the pressure, that's for sure.
You know what I mean, don't you?
98, that will be done in like 2 races, so or 10. But yeah, I mean the pressure's on him for sure. There's no pressure on me. I've been feeling very confident. They've been making more mistakes as a team, and we've made less, and we've certainly come strong. But I expect them to still win races. I expect us to win more races. We just need to be perfect from here on out for the whole year. We need to improve the car still. It was certainly better. We were certainly the quickest all weekend from quali to race, but not every race is going to be this simple, and are we going to be as quick? So we need to work hard to try and get the car to be this good everywhere. And if we can, then maybe that's a genuine question.
Great job.
Thank you, mate.
Well, it's actually a 91-point deficit. We'll forgive Craig because it's a bit hot and sweaty in that pen. Doable? Or dreaming?
We saw Max last year, didn't we? I mean, if McLaren really get the car back on form, but looking at it, even George Russell at 59 points, that's doable. There's a lot of races to come yet, and a couple more sprints as well. So I think what's nice for Lando, just observing him, this World Championship has given him confidence, calmness, but not complacency in any way. And he's just moving forward beautifully, driving absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, exemplified by the fact that he said he knew he could win this race from lap 1. I saw a little quirky surprise from you there.
Well, no, not a surprise. It's just I was thinking back to what I was showing on the SkyPad with how closely he was following Oscar from word go pretty much. And like I said at the time, is either Oscar looking after his tyres right from the beginning of the race, but the driver in the cockpit, Lando, knowing, no, I've got you today. Whatever you try and do strategy-wise, I feel like I'm on top of it. And as a strategist once said to me, the best strategy is to be the fastest car. And that's what he was today. He was the fastest car on track. The only caveat to that is Kimi Antonelli. When he was in free air, I think he might have been an equal to Lando.
But you touched on it before about controlled aggression here and the driver making all the difference. So to Martin's point, is that what you feel, is that the swagger you have as a world champion coming back here? And actually, he said, we did it last year, the 1-2. They did it the year before as well.
It's driver dependent. I think every sports person naturally questions themselves at times. And you have to, I think today's a really good moment for Lando to reprove what he proved to himself last year, that I'm the best in the world, and particularly when I'm on this racetrack. He's starting to feel like this is his stomping ground.
Yeah, well, Kimi Antonelli has extended his lead at the top of the championship for the second consecutive race. Let's hear from him now.
Well, Kimi, listen, you've won a lot of races this year, but is that podium almost as good a feeling given what you had to deal with today?
Yeah, I think was a very good result. We was damage limitation after yesterday, and we had to really fight for it because this weekend we struggled a little bit overall, but also other teams like Ferrari, McLaren, they brought upgrades, so it was kind of expected. So for sure, the team is pushing really hard, and yeah, hopefully it's going to be our turn in the second half to bring some upgrades. But yeah, was a really good team effort, and this first half of the season they've done a tremendous job.
Yeah, listen, you've got a good lead going into the summer break. I guess the pressure will continue to mount. Will you make sure you get a good rest? You've got to be physically, mentally ready for what's ahead, because it could be a big first title for you.
Yeah, it's going to be very tight because McLaren did a massive step forward. Ferrari was quick this weekend, and you can have a write off Max. So it's going to be a really big fight, and also George is going to be back in shape for sure. So we just need to really keep raising that bar and just come back stronger, because it's going to be a very big push.
Great drive.
Thank you.
So, not a headline-grabbing victory today, Martin, but is this how he's going to win the championship, by converting these seventh-place starts to podiums?
Yeah, it is. These are the key ones that make the difference in a championship very often, is when you're having a difficult weekend, still make it count somehow. And I used this term in commentary, damage limitation. He said it again in the post-race interviews, said it again to Craig there, and that's exactly what it was. But I think, but also it was a bit more, wasn't it? He was fast, wasn't he? He was really fast when he needed to be. I don't know where it would have all have ended up without the virtual safety car.
Well, Mercedes were telling him P2 is on. If we didn't have the virtual safety car, they said we're racing for second place here anyway, regardless. So he did he lost out with the virtual safety car. He was unlucky with that this time around, as Toto said in the interview. Unlucky twofold, really, because imagine if he had a free pit stop under the virtual safety. A couple of laps later, if they hadn't have boxed him when they did, I mean, happy days. But that's good luck. That would have been good luck. But he actually had bad luck in allowing other people to stop under the virtual safety car to sort of thwart his progress. So you had drivers like Lewis Hamilton coming in, making a pit stop, getting fresh tyres on, and then that halted his progress because he was the one with the massive tyre offset advantage before that virtual safety car to them.
Okay, well, time for a well-earned break after 11 breathless races coming into 2026. So what are you most looking forward to? Once you put your feet up and had a couple of cocktails, what race are you looking forward to going to?
We'll be back at a racetrack pretty soon, won't we? But Austin, I always love the Austin race, but they're all good. We've had some cracking races this season, and this race, a couple of decades ago, used to be so tedious. Me and Murray Walker used to look at each other and go, what are we going to say next? But there was something happening again all the way through the race. There was some jeopardy somewhere. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I hope the second half gives us the same pleasure.
Jamie said it was like a sports car race. There were so many cars everywhere with all the back markers and so many challenges for all of them to weave their way through.
It's really hard. I've been a back marker here myself before, and trying to weave your way out off the line to let the faster cars through is almost an impossible challenge because you're on the dirty part of the track, and made even harder today, by the way, when you go offline, it plays havoc with all of your deployment strategy. So we forget about that with the back markers. It's really not ideal for them. But yeah, I can't wait to get going again after the break. My mind's already in Zandvoort.
Okay, so which race are you looking forward to most?
Oh, Zandvoort.
Just Zandvoort?
No, not just Zandvoort. I just want to get going again. I think.
Stop it! And you need to put your feet up. You're working too hard.
I'm loving this championship.
It is great.
And I think the second half we're going to see. It's a race of upgrades this year, and I can't wait to see McLaren sort of starting to. They're chipping away at Mercedes.
And we see such a cross-section of challenges at the remaining races, don't we? And now we've got Sepang back in the mix as well.
Yeah, but have we got McLaren back in the mix too? Yeah, and looking forward to Sepang and what would be the Bahraini Grand Prix. And let's hope we can get to all of the rest. If not, I think it might be headlights and window wipers in December in Imola, from what I'm hearing. But we'll worry about that. We've got to change a lot of flights first before we get anywhere near that.
Absolutely. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you both this weekend. If you can call it work, because it's been genuinely entertaining. Tez Notebook is up next, and we do, of course, go to Holland the 21st to the 23rd of August. Thank you very much for your company. It's goodbye from Hungary.